Welcome everyone to another session for Connect. In this session, in this opportunity, I have the pleasure of talking to Gary Palmer. Thank you, Gary, for being here.
Hola, Anna. Thanks for inviting me.
It's been a pleasure not only to host you at this event, but to have the chance to talk, to get an input on your perspective of the industry. We also had the chance to see you at one of the panels. So here at CrossTech LATAM 2025, what has been your input in reference to the experience at the event?
Well, Anna, thanks again for inviting me to speak and to participate. And I've been incredibly impressed with the creativity, the determination, the customer orientation, all of the banks and the fintechs and the people that I met with. There's a genuine passion and commitment to do what's right for their customers. And this is both refreshing and exciting.
And you're representing a whole new company for the CrossTech community and ecosystem, Payall. And let's talk a little bit about Payall. We're eager to know, to learn a little bit more about the company that has not been new to the industry at all, but we want to hear a little bit about Payall.
I'm happy to explain a bit. For those who have been working in banks for decades, we all understand that banks depend on technology companies to operate, whether it's providing a core account platform, a digital banking platform, issuing processing services, acquiring processing services. There are these specific segments of technology companies that support banks. Payall is one of one. We're the first ever cross-border processor for banks. We live at the intersection of counterparty risk, transaction risk, multi-jurisdictional compliance, complex account reconciliation and settlement, multi-currency, and then actually providing a global gateway for payment orchestration on a global scale. So we are a new kind of technology company for financial institutions, whether it's a bank, a credit union, a building society, any regulated entity. We help them either give their customers best-in-class modern cross-border payments, or if they're a correspondent bank, we help them deal with the fear and friction of supporting other financial institutions that are making cross-border payments through them.
And one of the elements that I think is extremely important, you mentioned a little bit about everything. You mentioned compliance, innovation, technology, and thinking about that and thinking about the industry evolution, like everyday evolution and change. How do you see and how do you envision that change that Payall is going through as well?
It's a great question. I think that financial institutions, banks, credit unions of all sizes are beginning to realize that given the resource constraints they have, because their primary obligation is protecting the data and the systems that they operate, two, ensuring that all of their existing applications are current and well-maintained, and three, keeping their products in compliant with local regulations, that when a bank finishes doing those three things, they have very little capital, very little resources remaining for innovation. So they're looking more and more to outside parties to help them innovate, deliver new capabilities, elevate how they operate from a risk perspective and compliance perspective. So it's a really fantastic opportunities for banks, fintechs, and other technology companies to work together, all for the benefit of customers.
Great. So having the customer at the center of our everyday business operations, understanding their needs, making an analysis of how the market also answers to those needs. I would say, what can we expect from Payall in the next upcoming years?
Well, we are experiencing unprecedented growth in terms of the number of financial institutions on a global basis that are signing up. In terms of our direct connections into domestic payment networks, the deployment of new technologies, whether it's artificial intelligence or other capabilities. So if you watch us, what you'll hear about is just more growth, new breakthrough capabilities that continue to help us lead with safety first. Safety is the most important part of cross-border payments, bringing safety, transparency to cross-border payments, and then secondarily bringing faster, more efficient, lower cost, and more inclusive cross-border payments.
A final word for those fintech entrepreneurs, for those innovators out in the industry, what would you say from that perspective?
Having started and built some companies that have pioneered new products for banks over the last 25 years. The most important message is be sure you're solving a real problem. We sometimes get excited by what technology can do, but unless the technology is directly connected to a real problem, it's sort of a waste of time. So I mentor entrepreneurs and founders from time to time, and that's my key message. Be sure you're solving a real problem more than anything else.
Gary, it's been such a wonderful experience to meet you. It's been an extraordinary opportunity to be sharing with you, listening to your input in reference to not only the industry itself, but to that advice, right, to pioneers, entrepreneurs, founders that are emerging from this fintech world in the cross-border sector. So it's been more than an enlightening opportunity for me. I thank you. I know we're going to have the chance to see you at CrossTech World later of this year. And I look forward to that conversation and to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Emma. Thank you
Thanks.
so much.